Okay, so we are back to Tehilim, okay? And I'm going to try to do what I've been doing at the beginning of my shiur this year, which is at the beginning, since there are new people joining us, talking out more of the methodology than usual. And then as we go in the year, then we'll have to take it for granted. So I want to say why I chose this perek, and then Moshe wants to say something. So I chose this perek. This is the Lechu Neranena. This is Tehilim Tzadi Hey. I chose it because we said Kabbalas Shabbos last Shabbos, as we do. But because I think Rosh Hashanah was on my mind, I started noticing that the chapters in Kabbalas Shabbos mention Malchus Hashem a lot. And I was thinking, oh, this is Malchus Hashem season. You know, I mean, every season's Malchus Hashem, but this Rosh Hashanah is coming up. And so I wanted to see if there's anything that we can get out of this from Malchus Hashem. I'm not going in there with that agenda. That's just what prompted me to look at this. And then it's always nice to, I mean, I like what we've been doing these past like 5 years, switching back and forth between perakim that are very familiar and perakim that none of us ever learn. So I think starting off on a familiar one would probably be a good place. Yeah. Okay. Moshe, you had a meta comment?
Actually, will be mentioned regarding how the first psukim are attached to the end of the Wednesday shiur?
I was not planning on doing that. So if you find something that seems relevant, then let me know. But we're gonna start. We're also not gonna go to Kabbalas Shabbos stuff like the minhag. I don't think, you know.
That's not familiar.
Yeah, it's from Kabbalas Shabbos. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like, being methodological wise, I would have.
For the shiur. I mean, that's more of a.
Because maybe.
I mean, the psukim here. Which you know which number the shiur for Wednesday is? Oh, it's this one, right?
The long one. I mean, it's the previous one, no?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but like this is.
That's really just a question of does the previous Tehilim tell us anything about this Tehilim?
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate question, but I just want to focus on this pair. Okay, all right. So our first step is going to be to translate it. Okay, and this is the laborious process. It's not going to be so laborious here because this is a pretty easy Hebrew one. So we're going to translate it, and then we're going to look at our other translations and get into the words, and then we'll start analyzing. Okay, but first translation. Okay, Lechu Neranena ladonoi naria litur yeshenu.
I feel like it means like saying.
So where's Lechu? Come.
Yeah.
Neranena.
Let us sing joyfully.
Okay, good. So let us sing. I'll have a asterisk there. Joyfully. Okay. Lashem. To Hashem. Naria litur yeshenu.
Call out to the rock of our salvation.
Okay, yeah. You have something better than call out. Cry out. Yeah. Okay. Right. So like Trua, right? We're in Trua season 2. Cry out. Let us cry out. To the rock of our salvation. Actually, I should acknowledge the Rambam here. So there's rock, which is I think the more common one in our English Sidurim, and then anyone know remember how the Rambam translates tzur? Quarry. Yes. Okay. The quarry, which is also a rock word. Because I capitalize names of Hashem.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Are they supposed to be opposites? If we're talking, isn't this whole thing about praising God? Meaning, is true? Is the Naria really cry out? Because that seems like.
So here's what I was gonna say is like this. So both Rina and Trua are used either for joy or for sadness. Okay. Here I think it clearly means joy. Okay, right. But yeah, just because like we say, for example, in a.k.a. kumi roni balayla. Get up and cry out in the night, and that's sad. But then obviously Gila Rina Ditzav V'chedva is like happy Rina, and then Trua is this is an example of joyous crying, but then the one on Rosh Hashanah, like for Aim Sisra, is like sad. Okay, Nakadima Fanav Betoda Bizmiros Narialo. All right, this is a little bit more difficult to translate. Nakadma, yeah, what?
Cries early.
Yeah, I think something like that, right? Let us. I think Nakadma Fanav is let us greet his presence, and the early comes from like greet, like you're going out there to do that. I don't think it actually means
like
do it early.
Thing we were just learning, right? You first to greet someone.
Yes, right. Yeah. Spoiler alert for the women who are in the shiur tomorrow. Yeah. Bizmiros naria. Oh, sorry, with betoda. Now this is also a difficult one with
thanks.
Yeah. So one is with Thanksgiving, right? But then there's another interpretation.
Korban
Yeah, with a Thanksgiving offering, right? Yeah. All right. So it's unclear because
What Naria would mean? Unclear because of what Naria would mean?
No, I think just because this could plausibly mean in the base of Mikdash and they're bringing a korban. Yeah. Also, I don't know if bitoda, to me, that's a weird way to say with Thanksgiving. I would say like bihoda, maybe. I don't really know how the biblical usage is. What is a korban toda?
Is that Thanksgiving?
Yeah, but I'm saying like if it means giving, if it means like the act of thanks, then I would think it would be like bihoda, but I don't know if that's not a biblical
It
form.
doesn't sound like it's a strong way to keep a korban either by saying nekama fanav.
Well, I think the showing up in the presence of Hashem with a korban, like that's a set like thing that we talk about, like the korban re'iyah, like showing up in the presence of Hashem. So nekama fanav b'toda, like would be an appropriate phrase if it's talking about a korban. Yeah, okay. Bismiros narielo. Bismiros. With songs.
Cry out.
Yeah, we will cry out joyfully
I don't really know that translation.
to him. What was that?
No, I was just thinking of the joke.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't know the translation.
Yeah. I find it a little poetically dissatisfying that he uses the verb naria twice, So just noting that. That's not usually, I feel like he's pretty good at switching it up. Okay. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech al gadol al kol Elohim.
A powerful God, great God.
Or a great, God, or now you got power from
Kel.
Kel, yeah, right. So
Gadol is the descriptor of Kel. So
right. So, but I usually say God or power. It's unclear here, right? Great God or power is Hashem. Umelech gadol al kol Elohim.
King is upon all.
And a great king over all Elohim, whatever Elohim are, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll have to revisit that. Okay. Asher biado mechkere aretz v'soafos harim lo. Yeah. That in his hand are and this is a yeah. So mechkar is to investigate, right?
Does that mean like Malachim?
No. So anyone know what it means here? Not from the word, just from knowing the English.
What?
Mechkere aretz.
English?
No, it's like just if you're familiar with, presumably you know what you're saying in Lechadodi or in Kabbalas Shabbos because you've read the English. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think it means the depths of the earth. Okay. Actually, let's check the BDB here. Okay. Yeah. So that's the question: is how does it mean depths? Let's see. Mechkere aretz, range as a place to be explored. That's the connection, right? Is the almost as if it's saying like the unexplored regions of the earth, maybe.
Why doesn't it mean
If you're
that?
exploring the earth, maybe you go into all the.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's a better English term for something that is
Going downward or something?
yeah, like a word that means research, but also is like a name of a topological term, like a place. I don't
No man's land?
Subterranean reason.
know. What was that?
No man's land?
No. All right. Well, let's say
verb you're saying?
no, a noun that incorporates the idea of like a place that you have to search out, but like you're using,
Frontier.
frontier is a good one, but frontier doesn't really mean search, but like that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. All right, fine. Let's just say let's say, what do we do? The ranges? Yeah, let's say depths of the earth. I want to say depths because I maybe I'm getting that from art school.
Specifically underground, is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, like what I'm looking for is like for example, you say the far reaches, right? The far reaches, I feel like far reaches is good. Yeah, even though it's not a research word. The far reaches of the earth. That's good. Yeah, that's the type of thing I mean. Okay, v'soafos harim lo. That's a hard one. That I forgot what it means. I mean, I know hofa'a is a different word though. Yeah, to'afos. The guys on the side of the Gemara. Yeah, eminence, towering horns. So I think is this the horns of the harim lo?
The mountains like rise up to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Let's leave this blank here. Okay. We'll do it when we do the English. All right. Asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabeshes yadav yotzaru.
Hold on, wait. Why isn't it the top, like the peaks of mountains? like the toppest parts of the mountain.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. Okay, yeah, that would also be the opposite of this. Okay, that's good. And the mountain peaks
Harim is
belong
verb.
to him. I'm not sure. It does look like a verb, right? Harim,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. So Shaloha Yambahu Asahu.
That him is the sea.
Yeah, that the sea belongs to him. Sorry, I didn't capitalize H here. That hold on just 1 second here. That the sea belongs to him.
You made it?
And he made it.
Is the right way to translate it to say like that in the beginning of the sentence? I feel like
Asher?
I don't know why Asher is there in Hebrew, but I feel like
I mean, Asher means that.
I know, but like what is it doing in this?
Because it's giving all of the this is the argument for a great God Hashem, a great king over all the Elohim. Like why is he so great? What makes him so great? That in his hand are the fathers of the earth, and the mountains belong to him, and the sea belongs to him, and he made it. So it's like listing all the reasons why he's great. I think that's pshat. Right. So then v'yabeshes yadav Yisrael.
And then the dry
Yeah, the dry land.
his hands formed.
His hands formed. Yeah. Okay. Bo'u nishtachave v'nichra'a.
Bow.
And yeah, well, so both of those words mean bow. So yeah, prostrate. Let us prostrate ourselves.
I actually
And
had this question earlier today. Is prostrate, when it says Vishtakavaya, like does it always mean prostrate, or because sometimes they'll use Vishtakavaya, like I feel like it's used by like the Amida when it's not technically Vishtakavaya.
I think Hishtachvaya always means to prostrate yourself
Really?
because the word kriya means to bow.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, halakhically nowadays we play fast and loose with Hishtachvaya,
We don't do it except really on the end.
except for yeah, for some Rambam people. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Will you answer whether you do it?
I don't do it. Yeah. I haven't asked a Shiloh though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the real question is, do any people we know do it only in private and they don't tell anyone about it?
I know someone who does it only in private.
I was gonna say, I feel like the people who do it in private tell people about it, but yeah. Okay, anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Okay. Nivracha lifnei Hashem Mosenu. Oh, see, this is also a bow word, right? A bow word. Nivru. Let us.
That's what we were just saying.
Well, kriya is a bow word, but nivracha, I think also let us kneel, right? Like birkayim, right? Let us kneel before Hashem, our maker, right? Okay. Kihu. Oh wow, keeps on giving arguments. Kihu Elokeinu va'anachnu am mariso v'tzon yado hayom im b'kolo sishma'u.
He is our God.
Yeah, because he is our God. Va'anachnu am mariso.
We are his
We are a nation that is shepherded.
Yeah, va'anachnu am mariso. We are the people, right?
Are his flock.
Yeah, who are his flock. I think that's probably good. Who are his flock? V'tzon yado, and the I was gonna say the hand sheep. Yeah, the sheep of his hand. I don't know what that means. Like mir'eh is like pasture, shepherding, and so mariso I think is his flock. Yeah.
What's the sign?
Son is sheep. Yeah. I mean, it's sometimes used for flock, but I think mariso sounds like if we had a word in English that meant the flock, but it meant grazing, like that's like comes from like mirror. Yeah. All right. Oh, I wonder if that's a pun. Naria and Mar-Iso. Right? That could be, right? Like it could be it's a different shorish, but it could be a
something,
parallel thing. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? We are at the end of 7, right?
Yeah.
Hayom im b'kolo tishma'u. Today, yeah.
With our
Im with an aleph.
If I called him, or if, sorry, for voice.
Yeah, if his voice.
His voice will hear us.
Tishma.
Will hear them.
Nope.
Tishma. Isn't Tishma
is plural,
future,
but it is with a tough. It's
you guys.
you. Yeah. If his voice you listen to, right?
Yeah.
You listen to. If you, I'm going to put it in the other way.
Right. It's like second person plural.
Yeah. If you listen to his voice, I'm going to repeat the point I made in Mishlei last week, or was it this week? Yeah, the point from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs that in Hebrew the word Shema has 3 meanings, right? Is to listen to understand, or to obey. And the point that Rabbi Sachs made is that it's strange that in a religion of laws, there is no word that means to obey except for tishma. And what he wanted to get out of that, which I said is either good drush or good pshat, is that there's no way to say blind obedience in Hebrew. You can only say a word that means hear, understand, and obey. So like, but in English, you could say obey and understand are two different words. In Hebrew, it's like and he said modern Hebrew had to invent a word to mean obey, is letzayet, which it got from Aramaic. So if you hear, understand, or listen.
My consider, which is for Jonathan Sachs.
Yeah.
Like they have 7 translations for Shomer in there.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you later.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah. I'm guessing that they all group into one of these 3.
They're probably synonyms.
Yeah, right. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, 8. Al takshu levavachem ki meriva kiyom masa bamidbar.
Don't silence your heart.
Takshu, kashe.
Oh, don't harden.
Don't harden your hearts.
Okay.
Like
at Mariva.
Like at Mariva, which is a proper noun. Like at Mariva, we will. What was it?
That one of the 10.
Times they-
Or like, or what's
Oh, the,
what happened?
Yeah, so we'll review it in a second. Kiyom masam bamidbar.
Like the day you tested in the
Yeah, you tested in the wilderness. Okay. Asher nisuni avosechem, bechanuni gam ra'u fa'ali.
Like that your forefathers like trial.
Yeah, tested me, right? Tested me. Bechanuni, that's a little bit difficult. Yeah, in my favor. Okay. There might be a more nuanced way to translate it, but I think that's good for now. Gam ra'u fa'ali.
even they
Yeah.
saw
Yeah,
my
they
action.
even saw my action, my act. Okay. Arba'im shana akut bedor ve'omar am toei levavhem vehem lo yadu dorachai.
40 years they would want.
Yeah, akut. So this is what was it? Yeah. I quarreled
World
with a generation. Yeah. Va'omar, and I said, am toei levavhem.
a nation of erring heart.
Of erring hearts. Yeah, right. V'him lo yadu dorachai. They did not know my ways.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Asher nisuni avosech. Sorry, asher nishbati ve'api. Yeah. From Shavua. That I swore. Yeah, in my anger. Im yavu'un el munuchusi.
It will come.
Yeah. So this is one of these things which is an idiom in Hebrew when it says when you're doing something, when you're swearing and it's something bad, even though it uses the word if, I think it's I swore in my anger that they would not come to menuchasi.
Peace.
My resting place, which sounds like a death place, but I mean like my place of rest, right? Yeah, my place of rest is probably better. My place of rest. Yeah. Now I know this is maybe obvious, but like I always, every time we say Kabbalas Shabbos, I always think it's so like inappropriate to sing, for 40 years I quarreled with a generation and I said they're a nation of erring hearts and they did not know my ways. That I swore in my anger that they would not come to my place and rest. Like,
No, that's like a really good example of like songs that it's like this.
I know, yeah, songs that don't actually match the content. Yeah, it's a tochacha, Yeah.
Time for that.
What
Yeah.
should we sing?
Echatrop. Yeah. Okay, so that's our translation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to read through 3 other translations just to get the nuances here, okay?
Which is another translation.
Yeah.
So the Hanuni in my favor would be Gamru Falai, meaning like.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, your father says me in my favor.
I'll say despite, but it's not.
Yeah. That was a good call. Okay, so Art Scroll says, oh, and I made this small for your sheet, but I'm gonna make it bigger for here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, come, let us sing to Hashem, let us call out to the rock of our salvation. If you see anything that's like radically different than us, then let me know. Let us greet him. Oh, so yeah, it does say greet with thanksgiving. Okay, this thing stands on that. Yeah, with praiseful songs, these miros. Okay, Narielo, let us call out him. Yeah, see, I don't like call out as for trua. It's just not a good translation of trua. It means to.
Not specific enough.
Maybe
No, it's not specific enough,
means
right?
like a deer, like in a loving way.
But even that, I don't think that's what trua means. I think trua is a joyous, yeah, it means crying is either joyous cry or sad cry. So, all right, for a great God is Hashem and a great king above all heavenly powers. Okay, so they're taking the stance that Elohim is powers, and it's talking about like angels or whatever the heavenly powers are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For in his power are the hidden mysteries of the earth. That's a good one, right? Mechkore aretz, the mysteries, the things that you need to search out, right? And the mountain summits are his.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. More poetic. And again, I'll do what I always do. I'm going to change our translation between now and next week, but we'll leave it up now. For his is the sea, and he perfected it. That's weird to translate asahu as perfected it.
Why have his the sea and then have asahu as the like? We don't see that like God's is the depths of the God knows the far corners of the earth. God's is the mountains. So why was it a sea? Would you say?
I don't know, but what it reminds me of is that there is a shita that we don't hold by called deism, where God made the earth, but it's not his, meaning he's not involved in it. So saying that something belongs to God means that God is involved in it.
Or you could say vice versa, that where you say the first part, which is that that he owns the seed, but let's say he didn't make it.
Right. You could say that also. Yeah, right.
So what is it?
And I think it's especially important because it's coming after the heavenly powers thing, that the heavenly powers do exert an influence on the earth, but God owns them and controls them.
Right.
You know,
So you could say some people might claim they made it,
right?
but he's really the
Yeah, right. What were you saying?
So how does it relate to this though? Like the deism part? What were you trying?
Well, I was saying, Moshe was asking that if it means his is the sea and he made it, why would you need both? And I'm saying that you could think either that God made the sea, but it does not belong to him, meaning he's not having hashgacha over it, or you could say, like what Josh said, is that he didn't make it, like it always existed, but like he is ruling over it somehow, you know, and both of those would be like lacks in deficiencies in God, arguably. And the dry land his hands fashioned it. Come, let us prostrate ourselves and bow. Let us kneel before Hashem our maker. For he is our God, and we can be the flock. We can. Oh, I like how they inserted the word can be, right? Because the if is making it conditional. So, and we can be the flock he pastures. That's the word. The verb of mariso is, I was trying to say it was a noun, but okay, this is not so smooth. Where the flock he pastures and the sheep in his charge. Oh, that's the sheep, his hand sheep,
So
right?
Where is in that translation?
I guess are they using figuratively as flock?
Or
That's
I
weird.
guess mariso is combined. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah, it's kind of loose. And the sheep in his charge, even today, if we but heed his call, do not harden your heart as at Meribah, as on the day of Massah in the wilderness, when your ancestors tried me. They tested me, though they had seen my deed. So Bachanuni we got wrong. It's not in my favor. Like Bochain. It's like Bochain. Yeah, Bachanti is like a Bachina. So that actually makes more sense in this part here. So
what does it mean?
They tested me even though they saw my act. They tested me even though they saw my act. How do our school say it?
My deed.
Yeah, my deed. Yeah, for 40 years I was angry with the generation. So they say Akud was angry with. Then I said, an errant-hearted people are they, and they know not my ways. Therefore I've sworn in my anger that they will not enter my land of contentment. Menucha. It's interesting for contentment. All right, interesting. Okay. Neiman Novetsky, which is the Al Torah one, we're going to look at on our Al Torah in case there's footnotes that are relevant here. Okay, come, let us sing to Hashem, let us shout. So she says, Naria, see Ho'il Moshe, the root ro'ah to shout, and the root ra'ah to break stem from the same source. For a true is a loud blast or a shout that causes hearts or objects to break. That's interesting. Shout. Okay, that sounds plausible. I'm not, better than call out though. True is something specific. That's what it was bothering me. Let us greet him with thanksgiving. She says the verse might refer either to a thanksgiving offering, Rashi, or simply the giving of verbal thanks. With song we will shout to him. For Hashem is a great God and a great King above all gods. Above all gods. Okay, see Ibn Ezra on Tehilim 135.5, that although there are no other gods, the Torah refers to entities that others think of as deities by the term God, since that is how they are perceived, right? We say that all the time, like don't have other gods before you, right? Or before me. Here, though, Ibn Ezra suggests that the word Elohim refers to angels, God's messengers who do his bidding. Okay, and the peaks of the mountains are his. The sea is his, and he made it, and the dry land his hands formed. Come, let us bow and genuflect. That's the fancy word for that's what Catholics do at the pew.
What's
the what?
At the pew, the pew pew. No, at the The little soft bench that they sit at, genuflect, I think, means to bow. Let's look it up. Hold on a second.
Soft bench.
Genuflect. Have you guys never been to church? Okay, I have. Yeah, with my grandma, my Catholic grandma when I was young. All right, genuflect is to bend and touch the knee to the floor as an act of reverence or worship. You'll see, I'm sure you've seen it in movies.
Your movie.
Yeah, yeah. The priest comes in, right, yeah. Particularly in religious context to show humble obedience or servile respect in a figurative sense. What?
Show images. Real quick.
Image of genuflection?
Yeah, 'cause I'm still. I would like that.
Oh, look, it's one that actually shows you the difference. Hold on.
I really hate that feature of Google.
Yeah, genuflect. Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's doc. I don't know if they have halachos about it. Yeah, but I think the point is that I think you do touch your knee to the ground though. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. From Mammoth Memory. Yeah, genuflecting. Okay. Yeah. All right. We were on Al HaTorah. Okay. Yeah, and let us kneel before Hashem, our maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture. People of his pasture is much better, right? People of his pasture is probably the best translation. In fact, I'm gonna make that our translation. We are the
What do we say?
What did we say? We said we are the people who are his flock. We are the, what did I say? People of his pasture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the sheep of his hand. Yeah. We are the, where do we go? The flock of his hand. Let's see what she says on hand. Seems to Estion that the formulation implies that God cares for the nation with mercy. Oh, that's our interpretation. All right, fine. Today, if you will but listen to his voice, do not harden your hearts as at Meribah on the day of Massah in the wilderness, when your fathers tried me and tested me, even though they had seen my work. Even though it's much better. 40 years I loathed the generation. That's interesting. Akutz Ibn Ezra, that the word means to be disgusted by, probably related to like akutz, like kats, like the Rav Hirsch type theory, by pointing to such usage in Yechezkel and Eov 10:1. Alternatively, quarreled with. Oh, that's where we got it. That's where I got it from. As per the word's usage in Tehilim 139:21 and in Rabbinic Hebrew. Oh, that's probably where I got it from. Many verses like ours can sustain both meanings. I loathe the generation, and I said, they are people of errant heart, and they did not know my ways. Therefore, I swore in my anger that they will not come to my resting place. Okay, last one, Alter. For those who don't know, Robert Alter is a modern translator who does not always agree with us hashkafkali, but he is one of the most sensitive to the language translators who tries to preserve the poetry, and he has good insights. Come, let us sing gladly to the Lord. Let us shout to the rock of our rescue. That's a nice little poetic thing here, rock of our rescue. Let us greet him in acclaim. He does this funny thing with the word acclaim. He loves the word acclaim. For Toda and Modim, he always says it's acclaim. He says the Hebrew Toda as well, footnote 2, as elsewhere in Psalms, straddles acclaim and thanksgiving. I think by acclaim he means like praise. Some interpreters think here it refers to the Thanksgiving sacrifice because the idiom used for greet, kadem et pene, is sometimes linked with the sacrifice. However, the strong poetic parallelism with songs woven in a tight chiastic pattern, greet A, in acclaim B, in songs B, shout out A, argues against this understanding. Okay, whatever. In songs, let us shout out to him. For a great God is the Lord and a great king over all the gods, in whose hand are the depths of the earth. See, that's probably where I got it from, depths of the earth. Footnote 4, the depths of the earth. The Hebrew for depths is not the ordinary technical term, but the more unusual mechkare, which by etymology means the utmost reaches that can be searched out. That's nice. And the peaks of the mountains are his. His is the sea, and he made it, and the dry land did his hands did fashion. Come, let us bow and kneel, bend the knee before the Lord our maker. For he is our God, and we are the people he tends and the flock of his hand. If you would only heed his voice, do not harden your heart at Meribah as on the day at Massah in the wilderness, when your forefathers tested me, tried me, though they had seen my acts. 40 years I loathed the generation, and I said, these are a people of wayward heart. They did not know my ways. Against them I swore in my wrath, they will not come to my resting place. Okay, so we got a pretty good one. Okay, so now the next step that we do here is we try to find the pivot point. Okay, the pivot point, this is the crux of the theory of the methodology in Tehilim here, is the theory is that that my chavrusa or my Rebbe and I came up with, still don't know. There's a point where some abrupt change happens, either in subject, in tone, in voice, in person, in theme. So where would you say the pivot is? Yeah.
I say I think from Pasuk Aleph through Vav.
Okay.
I know, actually, one through hey is a pivot.
Okay.
6, I think, is the hinge.
Oh, you're going with the hinge theory? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So hinge theory is a thing that we see sometimes that Ariel wants to see every time, which is something that could be read with both halves, as opposed to like two clean halves.
Or maybe Zion could be the hinge. Well, I don't know, but the rest, I think it's more of it's more of like, the heart, telling people like the harsh reality or the truth of like we gotta get our
Okay.
A game.
I think I agree with your reasoning, but I would draw the pivot somewhere else. Yeah, Isaiah?
Well, I just don't want to put 6 in as a hinge. I think 6 is part of. I think it's 1 through 5, and then 6 through the rest.
Okay. Wait, so 1 through 5 and 6
1,
through the rest.
Yeah, 6 is part of the next part.
Okay.
6 is blue.
Yeah, why?
1 through 5 is how great God is.
Yeah.
And his master creation.
Yeah.
And then 6 is and on is the call to action.
Okay. I mean, it does seem to be calling us to action earlier also, though, right?
That's the introduction to the
Okay.
6 is really. That's why I think 6 is a hinge, because it's doing it's kind of like making a call to action, but then 7 and on is the.
Okay. I think I got a better one. Tomorrow?
Okay, you got a better.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks to me like 8 and on is like a totally different topic
Yeah.
for
Okay.
either one.
That's good. Okay, that's better.
Just tone, like
Yeah,
be a break.
I know, right. What were you gonna say, Moshe?
Exactly that.
Okay, I think, you tell me if this is not the best. Okay,
That's subjective.
no, this is right. Okay, because this is all the good stuff.
Oh, you put the dash.
That's good to that.
No, it's a condition,
Right.
right? This is all the bad stuff, and this is literally the hinge. It literally whether God relates to you positively or negatively hinges on if you listen to his voice. And this is an example of don't be like your forefathers who tested me and all this other bad stuff.
Yeah, that is another possibility. that I'm not disagreeing with that possibility.
Yeah, okay.
I also think there could be other possibilities.
Yeah, but
I have an open mind.
But what? Oh, so everyone has conclusions, has a close mind. Yeah. But I think Moshe is correct in his observation. Is the tone undeniably shifts from 8 and on. Perspective also shifts. Yeah. So I would be open to the idea if you wanted to put the second half of 7 in one or the other, but definitely 8 is a big shift. Yeah.
Actually start with the dash had its own, like 2 day.
You're saying that goes in the second half?
And I was agreeing with you with.
Oh, okay, yeah. The other thing also I want to say is that you could also make another division here that 1 through 7 in its entirety is describing us in the present tense, and 8 through the end is describing our forefathers. So it's talking about 2 different groups of people. But undeniably, 8 is the half. Ha! Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, you can have bad opinions, but like I'm saying, according to the good opinions, yeah, Isaiah.
We can go on that.
I want to make a distinction between this type of hinge, which I kind of hear that this is,
Yeah.
and the definite hinge in the song. This you can't read this as like maybe this is part of the next.
Yeah, no, this is a clause, a conditional hinge or a clausal hinge. I'm making that up.
The
Yeah,
content is a hinge. Like there's a hinge being referred to.
right.
But it's not like you can read.
No, you're right. It's not like that kind of hinge. Yeah.
So what's going on over here?
Yeah. Okay. So let's now ask questions. Okay. I think this one is good for us to ask questions. By the way, what's the good part about the schedule this year is we don't have to have a hard stop at 9, even though we're gonna stop here. We don't have to like abruptly cut it off. Because did they change the times?
It's gonna start after.
Oh, it's gonna start after. Fine. So we do have to stop at 9. All right.
I was wondering what you were.
Yeah. So it was a debate among the Rebbeim, and I don't know how it landed. Yeah.
Over whether it's push tomorrow?
No, but when to change.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, like so we're keeping it at 9, and then after the Chagim, then we're changing it. Is that okay?
Changing it to 1.
10.
Back to 10? Yeah.
Oh, it's normally at 10.
It was at 10 for 49 years.
And then we couldn't get a mini for 5 years.
Anyway, okay, yeah, Isaiah.
Yeah. So to me, I guess like, what's the ultimate idea? Like, is this telling you this? Don't be like that one generation that Hashem like decided that he hates.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
like God saying God hated this generation, they were terrible. I don't know, like I guess
Oh.
that seems like obvious to me. Or
Okay,
something
so
like
you
that.
want two things I want to do. First of all, before we get into the questions, I want to actually just review our other part of our method here. Okay, so this is based on Mortimer Adler's How to Read a Book, but which I adapted to Tehilim. So the 4 questions we're going to try to answer for every perek are: what is the perek saying as a whole? What's the theme or subject of the perek? What's the main idea or message? 2, what is the perek saying in detail and how? What do the individual psukim mean? How are the psukim ordered? Why are the psukim ordered in this manner? Why did he say these things in this way? 3, is this perek true in whole or in part? And before you say, oh, of course it's true, it's David and Malchus Tanakh, it's not enough to rely on David's authority. We must be convinced to the satisfaction of our own minds, to the point where we can convincingly explain and ideally rationally demonstrate these ideas to someone else. And then 4, what of it? What's the purpose of the perek? What effect is this supposed to have on us? How are we supposed to change our lives or our relationship with Hashem? And what we tend to do is we focus on questions 1 and 4 primarily, and then if we can get 2 and 3, then that's good. But that's icing on top. Yeah, Isaiah.
I'm gonna like restate my question and
Yeah.
slightly differently. Is this like the beginning of the perek is saying like you should go and serve Hashem because he's great, you know, for all these reasons, and then it just like goes into like railing against this generation, and it just seems kind of like random to me of like why specifically
Why pick on
talk
that?
about this?
Yeah, about that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Why pick on that generation / incident? So that was the other thing I wanted to do before we do questions. Let's just review the facts about Masa and Meriva. I believe it is in Shemos 17 or 16.
I don't remember what that is.
Mas, yeah, okay. Okay, so the entire I'm just reading it in English here. The entire congregation of the children of Israel traveled from the wilderness of Sin. This is after Yam Suf, okay, previous Yam Suf, on their journeys at the directive of Hashem, and they camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. The people quarreled with Moshe and said, "Give us water that we may drink." Moshe said to them, "Why do you quarrel with me? Matnasun es Hashem." So he uses the word that's Meriva to Rivun, and then Tanasu is from like Nisayon, Nisuni Avosechem, Masa. Okay. Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you test Hashem? The people thirsted there for water, and the people grumbled against Moshe and said, "Why have you brought us up from Egypt to kill me?" I never noticed that before. Wait, was this in Hebrew? Oh, see, that's interesting. That's banai, that's miknai, batzama. So they start off with plural. It's very strange. And my children and my livestock with thirst. Moshe cried out to Hashem, saying, "What shall I do for this people? A little longer, and they will stone me." Hashem said to Moshe, "Pass before the people and take with you the elders of Israel and the staff with which you struck the river, take in your hand and go. Behold, I am standing before you there by the rock at Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and the waters will go forth from it, and the nation will drink." Moshe did so before the eyes of the elders of Israel. And he named the place Masa and Merivah because of the quarrel of the children of Israel and because of their testing of Hashem, saying, "Is Hashem among us or not?" And 8, Masa and Merivah means testing and quarreling.
This
Yeah.
is not the Moshe hitting the rock.
This is the good hitting the rock, where Hashem tells him to, and he does, and he does do it. Yeah.
Right, and then Amalek.
And then Amalek comes, yeah, right. And then the rest of this is the war with Amalek. Yeah. Yeah. Moshe?
Right, so I
Well,
was
right?
supposed to understand already.
Well, hold on a second. That last week's partial was referring to this event. Yeah.
Normally the rewards, there's like a material reward for following Hashem. But here it's saying you can be his people if you follow him. And to me, that's not usually a reward
Okay, that's a good.
given.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so this is 7, right? Is why is being Hashem's flock, right? That's the flock one. Yeah. Hashem's flock presented as a reward for heeding him. Usually the Torah spells out, specific material benefits, for following Hashem. Yeah. Now you could argue that this is a specific material benefit of like God will take care of us like a flock, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, then I would just ask on that. Maybe it's not a fair question just because linguistically, but it says in present tense that we are, and then if, why not you can be, you will be his flock
Right.
if.
Yeah, okay, so that's actually a good question as well, which is why frame the condition as a present tense statement qualified by an if, okay, meaning i.e. you are we are the people, I keep forgetting this, the people of his pasture, right? The people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand, if we we heed his voice. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah. I saw a hand up here on the Zoom or not.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask how you are reading that it's definitely talking about a reward and not just like some sort of cause and effect.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Moshe's question is. Is it talking about a reward or not? I would say that it's saying that we are God's flock if we listen to his voice. If we don't listen to his voice, then we're not his flock. And maybe that's another question, which is what are these two possibilities of being his flock or not? Okay. Just like, what does it mean? Yeah, Racheli?
Okay, so one is when it says they are a nation of erring hearts and they did not know my ways, like two different tenses. I don't know if that was.
Right, that's a good point. Right, they toe levavim. They are a nation that present tense strays, and then lo yadeu, they did not know my ways. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I was
interesting.
in that. And
Yeah,
then
hold on,
the
just let me write it
other,
down. Just one second. Just one second. We are at which pasuk is that in? That is in 10. So I just want to do this in order here. 10 is why is toe in present tense and yadu in past tense. Now, I'm just going to say this might be an easy answer, which is that even though toe is being used as a present tense verb, it is a descriptor that they like. I don't know if it would make sense to say that they were an erring-hearted nation. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to say this in English. Give me 1 second. Like if I say no, let's see. Just give me 1 second. Like this is not exactly the equivalent, but if I say, for example, you are a slow reader, I don't say you are a person who has read slowly. Like you say the adjective in like the present tense, or you say the verb in the present tense when you're adjectifying it. So maybe that's it. But yeah, Rogelio, what's your other one?
so the other one is just a general question first. Like, since it's more poetry, do you focus on like repetitions a lot? Is that something you ask?
So good question. So that would fall under our second question about what is this perek saying in detail and how. And our approach generally is we don't make a big deal about the poetry. We don't lose sleep over the poetry. But if we can interpret the poetry in a way that contributes to the idea, then we try to analyze it. But we don't. There are people who learn Tehillim in a primarily literary way. And we don't do that. We try to get the ideas. And by the way, I think since the last year that we had, I think Allah Torah added like a super commentary to Tehillim. I just don't know if it's already there, if it's on all of them yet. And I don't mean super commentary like a commentary on a commentary. I mean
You're really good.
a very extensive commentary. Hold on, maybe they did in the beginning. I just want to point it out because of what Racheli said. I think they're doing it in pieces. I just don't remember what it's called. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. I think this might be it. The Neve Shalom. No. Okay. Maybe they have it on. Okay. I'll find it and talk about it some other time. Yeah. Okay. We're at let's go Isaiah, Joshua, and then Ariel.
Yeah, I want to understand
And then tomorrow. Yeah.
like the flow of the argument in the beginning.
Right.
Like he's making a certain argument for why you should come and bow before God. And
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily seem like it logically flows. Like he's a great king, seems good, and because he owns all these things or because he has power over some
Right.
of them, and like Why does that make him a great king above all heavenly powers? And then.
Okay, good. What is the argument and its flow?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Trevor?
Yeah, this might be too simple, but it says 40 years I quarreled, but like, did you really quarrel all 40 years with them? I thought it was just for a few years, and then he just had to kind of deal with them. He had
Right.
to promise that he wouldn't let
Yeah,
them
so
in.
that's why maybe anger is a better translation, because the anger was lasted 40 years.
Right,
Yeah.
that makes more
Oh,
sense.
that's another question. Anyone see it? The 40 years? What does the 40 years have to do with Masa and Mariva? 40 years is because of the spies, right? So that's
So that's how I was thinking, why is a generation? They still tested him afterward, but because it says a generation, meaning it's the generation that tested him, they were
Right.
still, they were dying throughout those 40 years.
right.
And I was just thinking, well, their existence came to Hashem more than any of the.
Well, so here's the thing though, is
the other
yeah, I mean,
did.
okay, alternatively, why single out
The first generation?
the Masa, Masa and Mariva and the 40 years, okay, given that Bnei Israel did other bad stuff, during the entire time in the Midbar, right? And yeah, granted, some of it happened at the beginning, some of it happened at the end, but like, why focus on those two? I think it's just an extension of your question from before. Okay, Ariel?
That was.
That was your question? Okay, nice, good. Tomorrow?
I mean, like.
My question is also similar. I wanted to ask, like, factually, what is this talking about? Because of this kind of like right, there's Mariva, there's the 40 years, which is tied to the Meraglim, and then I wanted to ask also, is 11 talking about not going into
Yeah.
the land? If so, that's also Meraglim, I guess.
Right, yeah. So the 11 is definitely the Meraglim, but I think 10, we also have to ask, what is Hashem, like, what is this characterization here, right? What is this, what is the meaning of this characterization? So I know, the Lo Yadu Dorachai, maybe, but Toe Levav Haim is a weird one, right? Characterization of Am Toe Levav Haim V'lo Yadu Dorachai. Yeah, Isaiah?
Is it really like a dichotomy? Like he's making it sound like either you're the flock of God's pastors,
Yeah.
or you're hardening your heart like at Marie.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, this is a nice big question. I think I want to highlight the big questions here. So one is a major question. Zion is a major question, and then also Zion is this really a binary? Either we are a flock or we are hardening our hearts, etc. That's a question.
Yeah.
What else?
I mean, I just don't understand hardening of hearts. Like how is what happened there hardening
Right.
the heart?
Yeah. So that's another thing for 7. So I feel like we're gonna need to learn Pasuk 7. Yeah. What exactly was their hardening of their hearts? Yeah, Moshe first. Yeah, Moshe.
2 questions. First, why does it go from you in Chet to your forefathers in 9?
From you in Chet and forefathers in 9. Right. Yeah. So I would really ask, why does it go from you in the first half of 8 to you referring to the forefathers in the second half of 8, right? Because saying this you in the beginning is part of his tochacha or whatever, right? If you listen to the voice, you should not harden your hearts like a Mariva, like the day you tested me in the wilderness. Wait, but this is David Melech's time. Your forefathers tested me, right? So I guess the real problematic thing is the you in the second half of 8.
Okay, fine.
Right, yeah. But that's a good question though. So what is the you doing in the second half of 8 of Ches? It should be your forefathers, because you weren't at Masa. Yeah, was it Masa or Mariva? In the wilderness, right? Wait, yeah, in the wilderness. You weren't in the wilderness. You weren't in the wilderness. Yeah, Ariel?
Yeah, I know this is David Melch, so it's like for all the
Oh,
other.
actually, David Melch might not have written this, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and I'll show you.
Because I don't have the facts then, so like, I mean, like, I mean, were those 40 years really like the worst 40 years of our history? I mean, like, what about
Okay, yeah.
the
So
Beis Hamikdash, the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash?
right.
Yeah, these horrible kings,
Right.
and that's when we were in Eretz
Yeah.
Yisrael.
Okay. So I think that's a good question. So I think that question would be something that we're gonna ask anyway, but I'll put it here. Oh, sorry.
If David Melvin did write this, I understand why he had to go back.
What is the subject of this perek such that the focus is on this period, right? This period of our long and not so good, history, right? I just want to go to the facts here as well. I don't know. I don't think this is unanimous, but I believe, I don't know if it's a mainstream opinion, but that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote this. Okay, so 90 it starts off Tefillah LaMoshe, and I think the Radak says Tefillah zo matzah David ksuva v'haisa Kabbalah etzlam shaisa LaMoshe Rabbeinu. Wait, hold on a second. Does he say this? Well, Eov. Okay, all right. I gotta go look back at Eov later. I'll have to go look at this. In my mind, Moshe wrote 90 through 99. That's what I remember reading somewhere. So yeah, Isaiah.
Can we go back to the perek?
Yep.
Which bucket is the question on? I will someone else had a question. Come back.
Anyone else have a question?
I was gonna say, isn't it up to us to know what happened at Mariva? Because he only talks that something happened at Mariva, but not.
Yeah, I think it's on us. I think it's presuming that we know the Chumash. Yeah.
Not like a major question, but who is the speaker throughout the perek?
That's a good question. Yeah, who?
The God.
Yeah, who is the speaker throughout the perek? Yeah, hold on just a second. Yeah, that's actually a very good question. Yeah, the speaker changes. Where does it?
That they would not
It changes.
Is it?
At 9 at least? It's God.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So let's say, yeah. Who's the speaker and why does it change to God in 9? Right, mid-sentence.
On that God changing, it's saying, and this is what God said. Wouldn't that?
But does it say that?
No, but I was talking about, and if you listen to his voice, implying that, and this is what God.
Oh, so yeah, it's interesting. I think Alter translates it that way. Check out what Alter does. He says, if you only listen to his voice, quote, and this is what God is saying: do not harden your heart at Meribah on the day of Masa in the wilderness. Right. Yeah, so that's a good way to read it. But I think Isaiah's question still stands, which is like, why does the voice change? Right. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm just going to modify it to be reflecting Alter's thing. Where was that? That was, oh yeah. Why does it change to God in? So it changes in 8, right? Yeah. Yeah. Who was that? Joshua? Yeah.
Is there differences between Shafabaya, and Nivracha? Like, I know there are differences, but like, what is the point of mentioning them all?
Right. So I'll write that. And that's the exactly kind of question that we won't lose sleep over, right? But why mention like 3 terms for bowing? Yeah. I had another question, which is what are 1 and 2 getting at? It's like very select activities that we should do for God, vis-a-vis God. And that is, and how is that call to action related to the rest of the perek? Okay. So why are these actions specifically being, commanded? Yeah. Like, how do they fit into the contents of the rest of the perek? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just going back on the question about the Master Mariva case.
Yeah.
It's like they had a legitimate reason. They were thirsty. They didn't have this.
So it's an interesting thing. We have to remember that there were 2 incidents, right? In very close proximity. So at the right after Yam Suf,
right.
Then it says, right after Yom Tov in chapter 15, then it says, hold it. Yeah, and Mara. Moshe had Israel travel from the Sea of Reeds. They went out towards the wilderness of Shur, and they walked for 3 days in the wilderness and did not find water. They came to Mara, but they could not drink water from Mara, for it was bitter. Therefore, they named it Mara. The people grumbled against Moshe, saying, "What are we to drink?" He cried out to Hashem, and Hashem showed him a piece of wood, and he cast it into the water, and the water was sweetened. There he set for him statutes, etc. And if you listen to the voice of Hashem your God, and you do what is right in his eyes, and you heed his commandments and keep his statutes, all the diseases that I put upon Egypt will not put upon you, for I am Hashem your healer. So they're not rebuked for that. Okay, but in Yud Zayin, then they are rebuked, and Moshe characterizes them as quarreling and as testing Hashem. So I think that's what's being presupposed here, is that they should have learned from, that's what Gam Ra'u Fa'ali maybe, they should have learned from the end, from like right after Yom Tov, there was no water and Hashem gave them water. So here too, they should just, ask Moshe nicely to ask Hashem, and then he'll give them water, So I think that's why it's judged harsher here. Yeah. Okay. I think it's a good stopping point, and we have one Kabbalas Shabbos between now and the next shiur. But I like it. I don't know how well you know the perek and Kabbalas Shabbos, but I know it well enough to recite in my head. So like it's easier to think about as I'm walking about my day. I also want to share with you. I've had stuck in my head Chazan Ezos's Sephardic version of this, and so I will share that with you so you can also get it stuck in your head if you like Chazan Ezos. Yeah. All right. Bli Neder, we will continue next week. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, by streaming, you'll sing it for us.
No. I'll send you the recording. Yeah. All right. Good night.